Have you ever wondered, could I actually become a programmer? Well, you're not alone. According to a survey reported by the journal, over 45% of students can code or are learning a programming language, and more than half plan to learn one at some point. This is a pretty exciting statistic, right? It shows a growing interest in the programming field. But here's the catch. Among all those students who want to become programmers, some of them honestly don't even enjoy programming. In fact, some may have chosen it because of pressure from others, or because they just wanted to follow their friends, or maybe even because they have a skewed view of what programming is all about. So, how do you know if you can actually become a programmer? In this video, I'll guide you through 5 key questions to help you figure out if programming is the right fit for you. And stick around till the end, because I'll be leaving you with some bonus questions to really make you think. So, let's get started. Let's first of all debunk a big myth. Programming isn't just for tech geniuses or math wizards. Programming is for problem solvers, creators, and anyone curious about how things work. But how do you know if you fit that description? Well, this brings us to our first question. Do you enjoy solving problems? At its core, programming is all about solving problems, whether it's fixing a bug, optimizing a system, or creating something new. You'll be constantly breaking down challenges and finding creative solutions. So let me ask you, do you enjoy puzzles? Do you like figuring things out when things go wrong? If so, that's a fantastic sign. But you might be thinking, do I need to be able to solve a Rubik's Cube? Do I need to play chess or complete a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle? While those are fun and great for sharpening problem-solving skills, you don't need to be a master at them to be a programmer. The key is, if you enjoy solving problems in any form, then there's a good chance you'll enjoy programming. Now, moving on to question 2. Are you willing to learn and adapt? The tech world moves fast. New languages, frameworks, and tools emerge all the time. It's essential to stay curious and keep learning. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you have a bucket, and this bucket is filled with water. But guess what? The bucket has holes in it. So, what happens to the water? It drains out, right? Well, in the world of programming, knowledge is like water in that bucket. If you don't actively keep refilling it, it will drain away over time. This means you can't be too satisfied with where you are as a programmer. You can't say, I know enough now. Instead, you've gotta love the process of learning and adapting to new technologies, because that's how you grow as a programmer. Let's shift gears and ask, can you embrace trial and error?
Alright, let me let you in on a little secret. Mistakes are your best friends.
Yes, you heard me right. Mistakes are actually a huge part of the programming process. Debugging and trial and error are at the heart of programming. The question is, can you handle making mistakes? And more importantly, can you learn from them? It's easy to get discouraged after making an error, but you can't let that stop you. Don't be the person who shuts down their computer after one mistake and calls it quits. Mistakes are inevitable. They will happen, but the important thing is to learn from them. In fact, every mistake you make brings you one step closer to being a better programmer. The more mistakes you make, the more you grow. Let's move on to the next important question. Do you have a strong attention to detail? Programming often requires you to spot small errors or missing elements in your code. A single misplaced comma or an extra space can cause an entire program to fail. Do you enjoy the process of fine-tuning and double-checking your work? Attention to detail doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It just means being thorough and patient. If you've ever enjoyed proofreading a document or catching mistakes in instructions, you might find this aspect of programming exciting. It's like a treasure hunt, where the reward is getting your code to work seamlessly. Taking it a step further, think about this. Do you enjoy building things from scratch? Programming is like building with digital Lego bricks. You take small, seemingly insignificant pieces of code and put them together to create something incredible. You might create an app, develop a game, or design a website. The satisfaction of taking an idea from your mind and turning it into something real, something people can interact with, should excite you. If you're like me and many others, you probably get a sense of pride and joy from building things. Whether it's a small app or a huge website, it's like watching a seed you've planted grow into a beautiful tree. So ask yourself, does the idea of creating something from scratch excite you? The next question to reflect on is, are you patient and persistent? Here's an important question. Are you patient and persistent? Because let me tell you, coding isn't always quick. Sometimes solving a problem can take hours or even days. You have to be willing to stick with it, even when things get tough. The road to becoming a good programmer isn't always smooth. From personal experience, I can tell you that I've worked on projects where I didn't show enough patience or persistence, and looking back, I regret it. But for the projects where I did stay patient and kept pushing forward, the results were worth it. They might have taken longer than expected, but they turned out great in the end. So my advice to you is show patience and persistence, because those qualities are key to your success as a programmer. After all, patience is a virtue. So how did you do? If you answered yes to most of these questions, there's a good chance you have what it takes to be a programmer. But here's the best part. Programming isn't about being perfect from the start. It's a journey. It's about learning, growing, and solving problems one step at a time. And hey, don't forget, programming can be frustrating at times, but it's also incredibly rewarding. And of course, there are always memes to keep us going, right? Okay, I'll stop reading memes for now. Before we wrap up, here are the bonus questions I promised. These will help you dig even deeper into whether programming is the right fit for you. So, take some time to think about them. They are: do you have a growth mindset? Are you willing to work through frustration and setbacks? Do you enjoy learning new things, even when it's challenging? Use these questions to keep analyzing whether the path of programming is the right one for you. Now it's your turn. Which question stood out the most to you? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next video. Bye for now.